Everyone, this is LS with the second Cloud9 versus RNG game. This is the tiebreaker match. So RNG not having the best of days, Uzi looking a little bit displeased. And so the bans Talia, Kindred, and Shen for RNG, Tom Kench, Aurelia, and I don't know what the last ban's going to be. It's very interesting that Cloud9 keeps banning these champions. They also ban away Alistar now from RNG, and we'll see them regardless of color. MLXD. Nocturne locked in first for RNG, and Cloud9 responding with Xayah and hovering a Gragas and... no, not Graves, please. Okay. Thresh. Now, if they're willing to pick Thresh, maybe they should have held it until the pick right here. And the reason that I say that is maybe you can induce a recon pick out of RNG. Or you can actually even hold Thresh until the second part if you don't think that RNG is actually capable of banning it away, and then maybe you can absorb a recon ban. Okay, so Aatrox here, so maybe this means Urgot because, you know, people can't think. Oh, man. Here we go. Let's see it. Just hit me with it. Just hit me with the Urgot. I'm so excited. No? Interesting. So I guess that means that RNG probably going to ban away Urgot, and Cloud9 actually takes the Zilean. Zilean I actually do not think is... Zilean's really good against Nocturne. I think Zilean's very bad against Aatrox and against Lucian, because they're both periodic damage dealers, and they have other options inside of their kit that are not relying on combos. LeBlanc being banned away, and Rise by Cloud9. And RNG with the Urgot ban. And Hecarim now, which is really surprising. When RNG is already showing such an aggressive team composition, I don't think that Hecarim should be something that's on Cloud9's mind, so I'm not really sure what that ban is. Xin Zhao now being picked up for Cloud9. I do think that that is actually quite a good pick. You can knock Aatrox away from your team. Also very good at separating Nocturne from his teammates if Xin Zhao is going to go into peel mode. And there is the Recon that is being picked up now by RNG. And what is going to be their final pick? Syndra is a champion that I talked about in the previous VOD review that I said is very good against Zilean. So basically, you all-in Zilean about 10% out of lethal range, and you just get him very low. You cause him to use his ultimate, and that's how you play the matchup. Syndra is very, very good at all-inning champions, and when she's able to just pull the trigger a little bit early, and basically that's her primary way of trying to win the lane, it's quite good. And the Poppy pick by Cloud9. I do think that Poppy is one of the acceptable champions against Aatrox. I do think that Fiora versus Aatrox is also a pretty okay matchup. It's very skill. Aatrox. Alright, we're looking like we're going to have a 5-point opening by both teams, so nothing too chaotic going on. So one of the things that I didn't do in this game, I guess, is I did not talk about what both teams are trying to accomplish. And for RNG, this is very similar to the Vitality Cloud9 team composition where they want to get ahead. They do have a little bit more insurance due to the flexibility of some of their champions. And they also have blue side, so they can actually go into pseudo 1-3-1s with the Aatrox. Cloud Drake is actually the first dragon of the game, which I think RNG want to pick up a lot more than Cloud9. But I would acknowledge that it does benefit both of these team comps. So Nocturne, interestingly enough, obviously starts going off at around 6. He does have the luxury of knowing that he has some lane kingdoms almost in every lane. So Svenskeren is trying to play very similar to what we saw in the Cloud9 Vitality game, where Trundle tries to latch on to the opposing jungler and just try to restrain him and keep him down. I think that is the best approach that you could take, because if you just let Nocturne continuously scale up with these types of lanes, things can get very hectic and scary at level 6. And all that Cloud9 really needs to do is stabilize and play this game out almost identically to what they did against Vitality. Looks like Svenskaren's actually trying to make something happen down in bottom. He's going to pick up a kill onto Ming. I thought that was actually very well coordinated by Cloud9. You know exactly where Nocturne is. You know that there's not going to be any aid. I don't like how Sven isn't just actually zoning loot. Yes, Xayah doesn't have any mana. Wait. You can zone Uzi here. You can easily zone Uzi. You're gonna delay your own recall, but you don't have a recall that you're trying to run to. And the reason that you don't have a recall that you're trying to run to is because you know where Nocturne is, and you have no obligation to be anywhere. And with mid lane being stable, and Jensen coming fresh off of the teleport, like, Sven doesn't have anywhere to be. He should just shove in this lane, and then him and Zeyzal stand right here, and Uzi goes like this and has to back up and then wait for Rakan. And then you both stand right here, and then eventually Svenskaren comes up here, and he ends up recalling. And it zones Uzi probably out of about 100 gold, and maybe even a little bit of XP. Sneaky's going to get a delayed recall, but that's fine, because Uzi's going to shove the next... He would shove this wave that's coming. But depending on the speed at which he can shove it, it might actually end up granting Sneaky a freeze in front of the turret, which is definitely not what Uzi wants right now. Yeah, but Funky Pants, that doesn't matter. Because Sven getting back onto the map slower does nothing. That's why it doesn't matter. Alright. And Zhao, who almost actually just got double bombed. Not really too much happening right now. And so MLXG is about to hit 6, and he's in close proximity to bottom. He finally has it. The dilemma is that Sneaky and Zeyzal seem to be recalling, and the lane state is just not in a very good position for a dive. Oh, but with that kind of damage, it would be. That was really, really good by Zeyzal. Oh, that's really, really unfortunate. Oh, wow. This whole thing looks like it's going to get turned on its head. That's really tilting. Oh, man, that's tilting for RNG. Cloud9's playing very well right now. That was an MLXD moment. Take a look at that one more time. I don't even know what the hell Let Me was trying to do. That was definitely an MLXD. Yeah, look right here. So that's one of the most tilting things in the world. That was a good hook by Zeyzal. And you can see that the teleport's coming out, for Let Me, but Xin Zhao wasn't in close enough. Like, Svenskeren wasn't committed yet. So I think that, like, looking to teleport is different from actually committing to it. I think that he should have held a little bit longer, and if Sven actually commits, then you cast the teleport. But there's a pretty heavy chance that he just turns around. Wow, RNG look like they're tilting really bad. Wait, what? Wow, did it just expire? Oh. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what? Spilled water on his keyboard. Water's not his thing. He's sipping the coffee now. Wait, what? Alright, let's get back into the game. Okay, so we're back into the game right now. And so right now, if you're Cloud9, Sven just basically has to keep matching MLXG's attempts to create ganks. Like, one of the advantages, so just like in the Vitality game, if you're Cloud9, all you have to do is scale. You have to slow the game down. RNG needs this game to go faster. I just have to point out that after everything that's been happening this game in bottom, look at the bottom lane CS. Imagine if 100 Thieves, imagine Rikara versus Uzi. Holy shit. Oh man, we missed out on this in Worlds. Oh my god. Oh man. Never seen a flame horizon that big before. Alright. So right now it looks like RNG trying to make something happen. Jensen forced to use his ultimate. Sven just goes down immediately. And so this is suggesting to me, so looking at Cloud9's movements on the map here, like you see how Svenskeren, his red's coming up, you see Jensen's trying to coordinate a gank against Xiaohu. This is pointless. They don't need it. And we also talked about in a previous VOD review with Zilean, Zilean with kills is basically the same exact thing as Zilean without kills. He's not a champion that accelerates due to getting kills. He's not a champion that you approach differently if he has kills versus if he doesn't, because of his windup and because he relies on his base scaling and he requires other factors to be present for him to be a very strong champion. So Svenskeren and Jensen are looking to create pressure in areas that they don't need to. There's two camps up on the left-hand side, red buff's coming up as well, there's a scuttle crab and whatnot, and they're looking and actively trying to make something happen, when the reality is that inaction is action for Cloud9 here. And so this is like one of those fundamental gameplay problems that I talk about teams doing sometimes, where they're playing to what they want to do rather than what they need to do relative to the opponent's team composition. They end up going 1-for-1 here, which is okay, but I'm pretty sure that RNG is happy with doing 1-for-1s at this point in the game because it helps their champions accelerate and get to a point where they're looking to have those chaotic team fights unfold. RNG actually managed to pick up the Rift Herald, which is really, really big against Zilean. We talked about that in the Cloud9 versus Vitality game. And so right now, Cloud9, they should have already acknowledged that the Rift Herald was guaranteed to go down. You can see that Sven can already basically tell what's happening, and he's committing way too much. So what they should do is they should attack Herald without attacking Herald. Normally I talk about this with Baron. You just try to push in the minions and make sure that they can't actually utilize it. But instead, they're being a little bit too over-eager, and trying to force things. And you even see right here they're bringing down Licorice. And it's looking like some stuff might be good for them, and they end up getting out there. They did take down Xiaohu. The thing is that they shouldn't be looking to create trades right now with RNG, because that's what RNG wants. Even if they go 1-for-1, going 1-for-1 is less beneficial to Cloud9's team composition than just letting the base scaling unfold. Wow, Uzi. Okay. Jensen's here now. They get the teleport out of Jensen. And Let Me finally ends up going down. And that's actually a really big break that Cloud9 just got up in top lane. But this is really good. Cloud9, I think, is, like, they're doing some things that are quite bad when you consider the team compositions and what should be the overall goal, but they're also managing to pick up advantages and like, small little micro advantages in places. Wow, this game is very Clown Fiesta. And even though it's Clown Fiesta and Cloud9 has more kills, I mean, the gold score is virtually even. I really, really hate that Herald timing. They get some pretty good damage on a Zilean turret, which is very important. Anytime that the enemy, or the mid laner is a utility wave clear mid, like Azir, Victor, you know, Xerath, Zilean, the mid tier 1 turret is so important. This is a change that I've talked about for about over a year now. And now Uzi rotating up into top lane. His CS is so well. He's doing such a good job. Has about 10 a minute. Cloud9 really just has to slow down. They have to stop looking for team fights. This is what RNG needs. Really, really, really poor decision. You can see that, like, right now, right? Since Karen's not farming any of his camps, and what's happening is Licorice and Atrox are still just going at it in the respective side lanes, pushes and whatnot. But you're giving RNG openings and potential to fight where their champions are going to fare the best. If you let this get to, if you let Tazaya get to 3 items, you let Zilean get to 3 items, Poppy get to 3 items, even Jinzhao, because of the nature of the team compositions, get to 3 items, it becomes so difficult for RNG to do anything. It puts so much pressure on Uji and Xiaohu to carry through fights. Even though RNG's team composition still has a little bit more fight in them than Vitality's did against Cloud9, you just cause such like a clock, and I'm not even making a pun with Zilean. If you just deny RNG any chance to fight, and you basically just restrict Nocturne. Oof. Couldn't quite get to Jensen, it seemed. And now, yeah, this is the opposite of what Cloud9 wants to be doing. You do not go up against this team composition right now. All you have to do is wait. Surrender your top tier 1 turret. And so you surrender this, and then you turtle this. This is it. You turtle this endlessly. Zilean's gonna wave clear for days. We saw this against Vitality. Now, yes, Syndra and Lucian can poke a little bit better than Draven and Echo can. Syndra is obviously the main culprit in this problem. But even still, Zilean's going to be able to wave clear alongside the Xayah, and it's going to be virtually impossible for RNG to actually dive any of the turrets. And so even if your mid-tier 1 goes down and you're just forced to defensively turtle all of this, you can guarantee that you're going to get to the 27-minute mark. There's no way that RNG is going to be able to do anything. And with these shitty Dragon RNGs and Herald not even being in anyone's inventory because it was already wasted, that's what Cloud9 should be looking to do. But instead, they're handshaking fights, and they're allowing RNG to have these openings that they shouldn't be granted because they're fundamentally misunderstanding each other's respective team compositions, and they're continuing to do what they want. I gotta pause for a second. So one of the conversations right now going on in Twitch chat is my comment about mid lane utility carry champions. Now, some are going to be utility carry in the sense that they can carry the game. They pack a very big punch, but they still offer utility inside of their kit. Then there are also going to be straight up AP carry champions. Okay, Azir. When you think about Azir, what do you think makes Azir strong? His range. Now, what does his range do? His range skews the positioning of the opponents. It makes them fight inside of artificially created terrain that is made by your soldiers. He has his R, right, which is a form of massive engage, but also massive disengage, because it has flexibility inside of the kit. He also has ways to disengage that makes it very difficult to approach him. And he has wave clear. These are all utility and control features. His main strength comes from his range in synergy with his reach from his R, like the Azir Sec and whatnot. These are utility functions. It doesn't matter that Azir does a lot of damage. His raw strength comes from his range and his wave clear. It has nothing to do with how much damage his soldiers do. It has to do with how he can artificially skew terrain and force people out from underneath their turrets, but also dissuade people from attempting to dive his own team. If that's not utility, then I guess we're just not speaking the English language. Anyways. So, Victor is a utility AP carry as well. More so now than he was before. Because he get added speed, he has more shield inside of his Q now than he used to. His E deals less damage than it used to. His Chaos Storm requires more time in order to disperse the damage and whatnot. But the difference with a Zilean, for instance, is that Zilean's benefit comes from inside of his teammates. Does he deal a lot of damage with his Qs? Yes. But he doesn't deal the same amount of damage as a Victor or an Azir. I would label, obviously, if you have the traits of a champion, right, you're going to have, definitions, right? So Azir would, he can have, you can have Azir right here. I think this is actually educational, so we'll talk about it. He has his AP carry, right? And then another trait that he has is he has utility, right? And then he also has control features. Zilean, the two main things for Zilean is going to be control and utility. And then later would come his damage. Anyways, let's get back into this. So right now, Cloud9 is shoving in a wave top, and then Sneaky is coming down. And, okay, they end up actually killing MLXD, and RNG is actually on the retreat right now, and Licorice actually managed to knock someone away. And right here, I don't know what Cloud9's doing. So they actually won out on the fight. So like at this point, right, MLXD went down, right? You look at bottom lane, it's good for Cloud9. Mid lane is actually neutral. And they have the Golem camp for Svenskeren to retreat to. And then once they actually get this turret, Scuttle Crab's almost up. They could actually probably send some members, clear out the vision here, get the Scuttle Crab, reset, recall. And then a Cloud Drake's on the map, so no team actually has to take it, which is beneficial for Cloud9 because it means that it's a thorn on RNG's side that eventually has to be in. So right here, Licorice managed to knock away Xiaohu, and then you can see Licorice is running towards the turret, but then the rest of the members also run too far up. So rather than actually already hitting the turret, Licorice should have probably just ran away. Let me do his thing. Jensen shouldn't even be in this position in the first place. Just watch this. Look at Jensen. He runs past everything. Where's he going? Jensen's trying to run to Steve for a paycheck. What he doesn't realize is that his team's actually the one that's getting out of groups. I don't know where he's going. Hello? What the fuck? So Cloud9 just threw that away. They were being a little bit too over-aggressive, and now RNG is going to be rewarded with some kills, and they're also going to get a turret. Wow. And now Baron. Oh, this is actually a really, really scary situation. Zeyzal ends up getting a hook. Licorice goes in. Oh, this is so close. What? What? Mr. Uzi. Oh my god. If Cloud9 got this, they would get they would get 2 turrets, 3 camps. Oh my god. They'd get 2 turrets, 3 camps. Wow. That's game changing. That is 6,000 gold for Cloud9, that Baron. That is easily 6,000 to 7,000 gold for a Baron power play. Mr. Uzi saving the game. So here's what happens if Cloud9 gets this. Cloud9 backs off of everything. Svenskeren runs down straight into mid. Right? He pumps the minions, they get the turret. The remaining members run up, they pump this too, they get this. They break off, you eat the wolves, then you eat the gromp, you make your way up into top lane. Yeah, one of the members breaks off and eats the wraiths. They break off into bottom lane. And then after they break off into bottom lane, some of the members are rotating down from bottom off of the nexus. And then you eat your camps right here, you end up resetting, you have a shitload of gold. Oh, I'm sorry, it would have been 3 turrets. I didn't realize the bottom tier 1 was still remaining. Wow, that's really, really sad. So, the score is even right now, which means that Cloud9 is actually ahead. As long as they team fight correctly, their team composition is really, really far ahead of RNG. So it's all a battle about positioning and patience. I like what RNG just did. I think that Atrox actually created a slow push down in bottom. And this is exactly the type of thing that they need to be doing against Cloud9 right now. Oh, Licorice, no. Cloud9 being overeager. Like, there's no reason for Cloud9 to be this far up on the map. There's really no reason. We talk about this all the time. We talked about it in the day 1 VOD reviews of Worlds. They're fighting over a thing called luxury vision. It makes Cloud9 feel better to be this far up on the map, but realistically, they're getting no benefit or advantage by being this far up. There's no difference than being all the way back here and having to defend your tier 2 turret, because top tier 1 is guaranteed to most likely fall anyway. Your red isn't up yet, and you don't have any other objective to contest. So you're putting yourself in a position where RNG is able to potentially capitalize on you with a Nocturne ultimate, or you could just end up mispositioned. It looks very similar to Team Liquid against, what was it, EDG, where TL was just super, super out of position. Or maybe it was actually KT. Yeah. Definitely luxury vision. Oh wow, they stole the red buff away, and MLXD managed to take top tier 1. I like that Nocturne's going for Guardian Angel. Only a 2k gold lead. Ah, Cloud9. Wow, Ming. Oh my god. That easily should have just been a pick for Cloud9. That's really, really, really sad. Cloud9 just has to hold on. They don't need to advance out onto the map. The only time that they need to come out onto the map is when Mountain Drake is up. Getting the Mountain Drake and making sure to get the Baron is all that Cloud9 has to do. Why are they pushing up? Why? What are you doing? What are you doing? Poppy's underneath the turret. Why are you engaging? What are you doing? Why? What obligation do you owe? Why? This is it. Like, things are happening, but the results aren't really what I care about. It's the primary thought process of like, hey, let's move out onto the map when you don't need to. Like Zilean, I don't know how far away Zilean is from his 4th item. He's probably very close, right? Xin Zhao's about to have Guardian Angel. You don't need to be doing anything. You just wait for those items. Jensen didn't get the blue buff yet. That doesn't matter, Funky Pants. Jesus. I just said I don't care about what the end results are. The initial thought process is what's concerning. They're doing it again. They're trying to run into RNG. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. They're actively looking to brawl when they should be making RNG come into them. Because if they make RNG come into them, Zilean is so much scarier, as is Poppy, and a defensively peeling Svenskeren on the Xin makes it so difficult for Let Me and Uzi. It really bolsters. Why did they start Baron? Why? RNG can't start Baron. RNG can't break this area. RNG can't do anything here. Like right here. They can't do it. I don't know why Cloud9's starting Baron. So this is like the 5th or 6th time in the last 10 minutes that Cloud9 has shown a misunderstanding of what RNG needs to happen. And they're doing what they want. And this is the downfall of many, many great teams in competitive play. They end up winning the fight. Now they're definitely going to get Baron off this. I don't know why they're not just running to it. It's like really, really scary. Because you take so much... So let's rewind. You take so much damage, and then you make it more difficult to outfight the opponent. Now, you see what happens here. Sven gets this amazing engage onto Uzi, and Uzi is so pivotal for RNG's team composition. And so suddenly RNG goes into like this defensive mode. And MLXD gets onto the backline, almost kills Zeyzal, gets the resurrect right here. But Uzi can't enter the fight, and that's the main problem. This is basically a 5v4, all because Svenskeren was able to find this opening on Uzi because RNG misplays it. RNG is a little bit too overeager because in this freeze frame, RNG is really far ahead of Cloud9. Okay? And you have to take everything into account. You take in bottom lane's positioning, you take in top lane's positioning, you take in the fact that they have camps to fall back to and eat. And if Cloud9 gets repelled here and they're forced to run back up here and then recall, then Zilean runs down here, he ends up getting his blues, Sven eats his wolves and his Gromp maybe, Mr. Uzi recalls, he goes and he gets his red buff, so that's going to be a massive thing for the next team fight. And then all of a sudden, RNG is able to have Prio on top and bottom lane. And so then they're able to group mid, and they're able to go into the Baron, and then we're going to have the stalemate with Cloud9. Well, yeah, it's a 5v3, but like Let Me is just inting, and then Svenskeren saves this whole thing with that engage onto Mr. Uzi. Aatrox. Right here, if they just turn instantly and go to Baron, like Zhao Hu has no mana. Like they're wasting so much. How much time do they waste? Let's count. Wait. 24? They don't start the Baron until... Wow. They wasted 20 seconds. 20 seconds. And now Zhao Hu has mana. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's so sad. I can't see Baron's HP there. Oh, they should have gotten Baron. They really should have gotten Baron. 20 seconds. Xiaohu? Oh, okay. That's really, really sad. Cloud9 definitely should have just gotten Baron there. Okay, sneaky, well, this is really bad. Ah, they're doing it again. So here's the problem. Mid lane, RNG has priority. Top lane, RNG has priority. Bottom lane, RNG has not only just priority, this size minion wave, that's a fucking herd. You ever watch the new Walking Dead episode? Oh, I have something to do after the stream. Okay, you ever seen The Walking Dead? This is a fucking herd. This can actually get inhibitor turret. This minion wave can get inhibitor turret. Oh, no. No, Cloud9. What are you doing? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Oh, man. What are you doing? See the herd? That would take inhibitor turret. That's why that's why what Cloud9's doing is really bad. They shouldn't be funneling into river. The herd can take inhibitor. We're gonna Twitch chat. We're gonna coin a minion wave being able to raise multiple turrets a herd now. All right, we're gonna get that lingo going. They had TP advantage too. Yeah, this is really, really sad. They're starting Baron. They're not fixing lanes. They're all split up, and it's not what they need to be doing. That was a wasted ultimate. This sucks, man. Cloud9 got really close. This is where Korean teams and Chinese teams get very scary, is when they ask you to dance multiple times. Western teams seem to fumble the dances. Like, sometimes they can do the dance very well. And I'm not literally talking about dancing for non-native English speakers or whatever. I just mean, like, repeating the same type of movements that result in a positive... in a positive team fight, or in having positive positioning leading up to a team fight. Oh, man. That's really sad. Oh, wow. Oh, that's really sad, the Zillion thing. Even without that, though, I'm pretty sure they still lose. even without that. Yeah. Like, MLXD, Jesus. That's really, really sad. I hate this. NA teams do this all the time. They disrespect side lanes. And they find themselves in these dances with Korean and Chinese teams, and they always drop the ball. It's like, it's so sad to see. We saw it at Worlds 2016. We saw it at Worlds 2017. We've seen it a few times here at Worlds 2018. All right. So that's it. I mean, I was pretty impressed with Cloud9's gameplay. Now, I'm impressed because they got to the stages that they got to. What I'm disappointed by is they showed that they didn't understand their team comp against the opponents. And that, for me, is the biggest flaw. They didn't seem to acknowledge what RNG needed and what simply, you know, they needed to do in order to prevent RNG from winning the game. And I think that that's a problem because this team composition, much like in the Cloud9 versus Vitality game, yes, RNGs had a little bit more flexibility because of the Syndra and because they don't have a useless abomination of a jungler like Trundle. But they showcased in both of the games a refusal to do or to go against what the enemy needed. And I think that that's concerning for me, for a team that's playing at the world stage if they are advancing further in the tournament, because it means that in a best of set, it gets even scarier. Even if they brought down Vitality once, and let's say that they beat RNG in this game, it doesn't change the fact that their fundamental thought processes are flawed and their approach to the game, even if they were winning dances and winning team fights over RNG, because in a best of 5 series, it becomes increasingly more difficult to do this. RNG did look very sloppy, but also they had some redeeming qualities too. Like Uzi's CS was fantastic. Obviously Uzi dying in front of the Baron and then let me inting was not that great. MLXD got a little bit not unlucky, but the level up for Sneaky and bottom lane. I felt like in the earlier stages of the game as well, I feel like Cloud9 was actually performing better than RNG. So pretty much that.